song it is. We're good. And we're live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So many of you have heard that adage that nature, that the universe abhors a vacuum. And I don't think I ever appreciated that until I started to create vacuum in my life, making space for things that I wanted. So in my single days, there are a lot of them. I was single until my mid-40s. I would go in between relationships, and there was always one guy that I dated that we would end up back together again in between relationships that kind of lasted a couple of years or a year or so. And he was a good friend and fun and everything, and I think part of me loved him, but it just wasn't right. It wasn't, I knew that he didn't want what I wanted. But I stayed in that for probably more than a couple of years, probably more than I want to think about or admit. But I did, because it was safe. And it was interesting that we always seemed to be free of relationships at the same time. And so there was always this coming back together again. And I did that, I think mostly out of not knowing what else to do, not thinking clearly about what I really, really wanted, the type of relationship that would make my heart sing, but knowing that I was in something that just didn't hit the mark for me. So I kind of had an idea of what I didn't want, because I was in it. And there might have been some codependency there, now that I think about it. But in the beginning, I just wasn't ready to let it go so that I could have what I really, really wanted. I knew that it was possible to have a relationship that was deep and loving and intimate on many levels, that was satisfying, that somebody would have my back and I would have his. And we would be companions and grow a life together. But part of me didn't think I deserved it. And I think the other part of me was afraid of it. We're more comfortable sometimes with what we've got. And we're afraid of what we really want, but we're unfamiliar with. So I stayed for a number of years and did that, back and forth. We did this dance together, back and forth, until I finally got tired of whining about it inside my head and heart, and sometimes out loud, and expecting something that wasn't going to come, and getting myself ready to step fully into something I truly, truly wanted. So it took me finding the strength, here's our word for the day, the daily word, to finally get where I said, I won't do this anymore. I'm ready to step into something that I truly want, that will truly make my heart sing, even if it means that I do without crumbs for however long. Sometimes we get so used to crumbs. We get used to having a little bit. We get used to being kind of content, but not really. We get used to fooling ourselves that it's okay. And it's all right. At least I got somebody. that it may not be what I want, but it's something. How many of us have said that about something in our lives? And we just take whatever instead of going for the gold, whatever that gold is. So I remember the night vividly when I told him I was done. And he was shocked, of course. And he's like, well, what for? I mean, isn't this working? It's like, well, no, not really. No, it's not. It's not what I want. You don't want what I want. Let's just be real about it. We've never really talked about it. We danced around it. I would, of course, touch the subject and then back away because, oh my gosh, what if he's not here? And then I finally just said, I'm done. You're a nice guy. I like you. I care for you. But I want something more. Man, when I tell you, when I had to say out loud, I want something more, and I'm not going to get it as long as I'm staying here. It was not comfortable. But I tell you what, being able to say it out loud and being able to admit that it was time to walk away gave me strength. And I think that just saying that one thing out loud reminded me that I am worthy of the best. Not of just some things, but all things. Sometimes we sacrifice the best for the good, for the okay, for the mediocre. We walk away from the feast because we've got crumbs in our hand. And we keep telling ourselves it's okay. And it is okay. But it's not great. We are children of the Most High. We are divine beings, and our inheritance is overflowing abundance in all things. But we've got to tell ourselves that. We've got to say it out loud. We've got to admit it. We've got to stand in and be willing to create a void and say, I'm walking away from crumbs, I'm throwing them out, because I want my hands open and ready for whatever is good and true and right and wonderful for me right here, right now, in this life. And it took a couple of years before I found the relationship I wanted. It took a couple of years to strengthen myself spiritually, emotionally, to be by myself, to get clear in my head about what I truly wanted in love. What did I want for my life? Was I willing to admit that I wanted it and get clear about what that looked like and to affirm it every single day? And I would sit in my meditation and say out loud the attributes of the relationship that I wanted to manifest. What kind of man is he? What kind of heart does he have? What does he want in life? What do we have together? What are we going to create together? I got clear about what I wanted to step into now that I was free of the other stuff. And I created a vacuum. And whenever you create that vacuum, then the universe responds immediately. Immediately. And not only do you get the desires of your heart, but you end up with an abundance overflowing beyond what you thought was possible. Because sometimes we don't know the true desires of our hearts. Sometimes we've been dealing with crumbs for so long, we don't know what true goodness looks and feels like. You're so used to having the small stuff that you don't know what it is to live the grand life in Spirit's eyes, which is to give you the kingdom right here, right now on earth. The kingdom of heaven within you. So that your heart sings all the time. All the time. Creating a vacuum. We got to get rid of the stuff we don't want. And sometimes the stuff we don't want is in corners we never thought could be cluttered with stuff. Corners of your heart, corners of your mind. What are you thinking about yourself? What are your beliefs about yourself and your life that you've gotten so used to that you dare not think about what could be golden? What are you hiding from that's good and true for you, for your heart? That God has for you, waiting to say, I'm here. I'm open. I'm not playing around anymore. I'm not playing small anymore. I'm not asking for crumbs anymore. I'm not standing here with my fist tight and closed, contracted against life and its goodness. The universe all simply wants you to do this. That means you got to let go of some stuff. You can't open your arms and your hands and be clinging to stuff that's driving the life out of you, taking the light out of your eyes. So we got to start with the purge. What do you need to get rid of? Thoughts, beliefs, feelings, a relationship or two, a friendship or two. Maybe a work life that's not satisfying. Stuff cluttered in your closet you don't know, they haven't looked at in 30 years. Oh yeah, she went there. Does a whole lot for the spirit when you can clean out physical clutter. Clear out the physical clutter. Because everything that's in physical manifestation has something to do with what's in here, with what's in here. What are you willing to let go of? And I have found when I started to get rid of the physical clutter in my life, in the back of the closet, up on the top shelf somewhere, under the bed, in the garage. Oops, there she goes again. How many of us can't park in our garages? So many of my neighbors can't park in their garages. 3-car garages. Not a single garage. Yeah. Because we don't want to go through it. We don't want to see what's hiding. But in the physical process of getting rid of what's hiding and what's stuffed in the corners and stacked up and dusty and dirty and old and crumbling and broken, in the process of getting rid of it, your spirit can run free. You can breathe free. And I find when I empty out a closet and I get it, so the only stuff that's in there are the things that I use, I love whipping open that closet door and taking a deep breath. Saying, oh my God, that looks nice. And I'll run and look at that closet 10 times during the day. Because there's nothing like whipping that door open and seeing space. Right? Getting rid of the cobwebs. And then you have some energy to pay attention to something else in your life that's got far more goodness for you. Something that's not broken. You know batteries corrode? Yeah. There's parts of us that corrode when we ignore them. And we just put on the blinders, keep the closet door shut, run past it. I don't see it, I don't see it. Yeah, we think we're hiding from it, but we're not, because something inside of you knows it's there. Knows it's there. And you're ignoring that too. You're ignoring that voice that says, closet. Clean the closet. Something's in the garage. How many times are you going to walk past it? And you say, I know I need to do that. I know I need to do it. No, I need to do it. No, I need to do it. And we don't do it. So as we're stepping into 2020 to live the I am, we got some stuff we got to get rid of. In here. In here. In here. So as we're called to something new, there are probably lots of things that need to get released. We can put pen to paper or say out loud, I'm done with this. I'm done. No more crumbs. No more crumbs. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Crumbs are not your destiny. Not your destiny. It's that simple. No matter what area of your life you're thinking about. You deserve the best of everything. You were created for the best of everything. You are the best of everything in your individuality. So we're going for the purge. It might take more than just a day or so. I want you to take this seriously. I challenge you to take it seriously. I don't journal every day, but there are some times when I do journal, when I know that there's something I need to purge from my heart and my mind. Sometimes you just need to take pen to paper and write it all down. Something happens to the brain and the heart when you've got pen in your hand and you make connection with a page. And then the brain can rewire. The brain gets a signal. This is real. I got to do something different. It starts to make different connections because now you're doing something different. I stopped seeing the guy. So the universe knew. Now she's open. I've been holding this relationship for her that she's always wanted in her heart and probably didn't know. And now I can send it in because she's made room. Got to make room. But you got to be clear. You got to know what you got to let go of. What are the crumbs? So maybe it's going to take some journaling. Maybe you need to sit in meditation and say it out loud. Feel what you need to feel around those things you need to let go of. Are you afraid of what's next if you don't have what you're used to holding on to? And you're doing this. Teetering. Without the foundation, not a strong one, that you had before. Just like that Indiana Jones movie clip. You step into the abyss, but there's nothing to come up and meet you until you take the step. It doesn't appear until you step forward into the unknown, without the crumbs, with the Spirit guiding you, calling you to something else. So just do this. Just let go. Just let go. Just let it go. Just let go. Start with some of it if that's where you need to go. And then slowly, as the year progresses, or as the months or the days progress, keep letting go. Purge physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. What beliefs do you have about God, the universe, about what you deserve that you need to get rid of? What beliefs do you have? Do you still believe in a God who's giving to Pete, but not to Jerry? Who's blessing Cece, but not Damaris, because, she didn't go to church last month or something. Are we still believing that there's some puppeteer up there making it work for some but not for others? You're blessed and favored, but oh, not you. Do you need to purge that belief? Do you still think you're separate? And that you're just this lone body, this lone spirit trying to make it through the world all alone? Or do you need to start thinking about the connectedness of the redwood trees? And how underground they're intertwined, helping each other stand. Oneness that may not be apparent above ground, but underground, there is this network of strength and support that keeps us from toppling over when life gets rough. But we don't use because we think, I don't want to bother anybody. They're too busy. I can't call. It's late at night. Those are crumbs. Those are crumbs. So the purge is on. I'm going to start purging today. The book that we're going to read this year, one of them, Divine Audacity. This is the book about the 12 powers. I will order some so we have some here if you just want to buy it here. You can get it on Amazon. So let's go into meditation. I want to read this meditation she has for release. That's one of the things I like about this book is there's a meditation for every single power. And then there are some things, concrete things you can do to start stepping into embracing that power and expressing it. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable. And let yourself see with your divine eyes. And hear with divine ears what is for you in this meditation. I concentrate attention at the lowest point on my spine, the site of a cluster of nerve cells directing elimination of bodily waste. I shine earth tone light throughout my lower pelvis, containing organs of elimination. Expanding the reach of the light, I radiate light into my abdominal cavity, containing digestive organs, liver, and kidneys, and into my lungs. I expand to the borders of my body where my skin is the largest organ of elimination. I bless and appreciate my body's natural capacity to release chemicals that would harm my health if accumulated and never eliminated. I bless and appreciate my mental capacity to release the past, to drop unhealthy patterns of behavior, to forgive, and to free myself from untrue assumptions and beliefs that disempower me. I celebrate my spiritual release ability. I am not merely a physical body. I am not only a human. I am not limited by my age, ethnicity, education, or any human factor. I cannot be weak or unworthy. I release my best human understanding about myself, God, others, and life itself, so that I am open to new insights. I release past judgments and condemnations of myself and others. I cleanse from my mind ridiculous ideas of lack and limitation. Release is my spiritual name and nature. Yes, release is my spiritual name and nature. I naturally and effortlessly release wasteful thoughts of unworthiness and only human limitation. With every breath, I release the moment past, that I might be wholeheartedly present now. With every breath, I release the moment past, that I might be wholeheartedly present now. So let's just be in silence together. And you may have already had some things come up in your heart and mind that you need to release. Bring them up, more present in your consciousness now. Let them come up. Whatever they are, be open. Be honest with yourself. Don't judge it. Don't edit the thoughts. Just let Spirit guide you. What do you need to let go of? What are the crumbs in your life you've tried to be content with for so long? Just take a moment in silence. When you're ready, come back to the room. Here's some paper. Take a piece or two, each person. And we'll need pens. There should be pens in the backs of the seats. And you're going to write down the things you need to let go of. For those of you watching on Facebook Live, I invite you to write them down also on a piece of paper. And then at a time when things are quiet and you're ready, destroy that piece of paper. Either light it on fire, rip it apart, throw it away. Mary, you have some?
What did you say we do after you're ready?
We're going to come up and...
Oh, okay.
So just hold it when you're done writing down
So the things that you want to let go of.
that you're letting go of. These are things you're committing to letting go of in 2020. Or this afternoon. Anybody need a pen? Lucille, you need one? I'll get one for you. Oh, there's one.